that instead.
At the very top, I think. Ancillary.
Okay. Sorry, perfect. All right, so we have our workflow. Now what we need to do is make a group for those disinfection locations. This group. And I'll let you probably, no, we wouldn't have because it was going to be tight. Okay, so and we're going to pick system. What did I, is that what I titled it? Or what did I, let me think here. Scope upload, no. Okay, right. Just writing down a couple notes for myself because you're actually the first customer who's
Using
setting
System
this
1?
up. Yeah, so that's going to be helpful for everybody else setting up too. So okay. So we have that in the group there. Now what we need to do is we need to associate that with one of your products. So which one do we want to, is there,
You got,
or is there all of this one we want to?
yeah, you're gonna put the bronch. Just put in bronch. Okay, and then respiratory, bronch, any one of those. Yep.
So there's a new section in reprocessing down at the bottom here.
Oh, high level, yeah.
What's that?
Oh no, I see it. High level disinfection.
Okay, so I'll expand this, and if you have a workflow that's associated, it'll automatically expand it when you open it.
Okay.
But we left it collapse like this just so it didn't take up space for you.
Mm-hmm.
Most of your products aren't going to have these. And we'll put the system and we can mark it as a primary workflow. That way it'll be suggested by default.
Okay.
And if you wanted to, we won't do this now, but you could, here's where you can pick files, pictures or videos that you want to associate with them.
Oh, okay.
So you see at the top here, all except for this first tab, all of these are the steps of the workflow that we had where you could potentially associate files with them. So this one, the first one would be the leak test, then the manual cleaning, the protein test, the system winnie, the
Indicator test.
indicator, and then finally the clean side steps.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to associate pictures with any of those, you can just add a file, and that's similar to how you've done that before, where you can pick one, scan one, or get one from your camera.
Okay.
So you can come back and do that, and then if you want, the only other difference here is that if you have a picture that you want associated with multiple steps, like let's say it's just a picture of the scope. I'm not saying you should do this, but let's say it's just a picture of the scope itself, and you want it for all the steps. Then you could actually click a button in here to associate it with more than one step. You don't have to scan it multiple times.
Okay.
And if you want that picture to show up in Find Item also, in other words, if I'm, let's say again that example of I just have a generic picture of the scope itself. It's not a picture of me hooking up the leak test or anything like that. Then there's a little checkbox here that you could check off to say, this is a product, this is an image that shouldn't be just only seen inside of HLD workflows. It could be seen when I search for the product too. You could check that box. So now that we've associated that workflow with this product, the only other thing we need to do, unless I miss a step, but we'll find out, is to add the scope tracking icon as a part of one of your steps. So what we can do is we can eventually, depending on, well, Steris, you'll want to leave that one there because you're going to still sterilize some, right?
Yep.
But we'll probably end up replacing this one.
Okay. The channel checks are already in there.
Okay. So, I think what we're probably going to end up doing, if all that stuff ends up being inside of the workflow, then you won't end up needing these icons anymore.
Okay.
But for now, we'll just add it. We'll just add the new one.
Okay.
See what it looks like. I think we need the scope tracking one. We did. Okay. So scope tracking. When they scan something into one of these workflows, do we want to mark it as being in decontam or in decontam receipt? Like that?
We usually do decontam receipt.
Okay. Receipt. And process group, we're going to pick our inspection locations. Shows there. Okay. And then we're going to add this to your decontam action area. And I'm going to move it up so it's right after your Steris, just for now. And we can put this anywhere you want.
Okay.
And you can rename it too if you wanted something else.
Okay.
Okay, so the only other pieces of configuration that we need to remember is there are two settings that control expiration dates. So remember how we put in 7 days, like after 7 days after it goes through System 1E, it's no, you have to do it again.
Right.
So there's two, if they scan it to a patient location and it's already expired, they're going to get a warning saying, this disinfection is expired. You shouldn't be delivering it.
Okay.
But we also have an option to say expiring soon, if you will. Like within 1 day of that, do you want to, let's say I'm scanning it to a cart today. Do you want to say if it expires even tomorrow, still give me the same warning because this cart may be going up to the patient tomorrow?
Okay, so what's going to happen is we scan it to the ancillary cart. They come and they pick it up. They don't bring it down to us until it's dirty again.
Okay, so you're not delivering it to a patient in it?
No, that's a mute. Yeah, don't even worry about that.
Perfect. Okay, so then the only other piece is on the list of scopes that are being processed. There's two modes of it. One is what's currently in process, i.e., what's in your System 1E right now, for example.
Okay.
So running through it, it's in progress. Or maybe they started in the System 1E. It's on the clean side now, but they haven't finished it in the warming cabinet. So those are going to show up in there until they finish all the steps that they needed to do.
Oh, good. Okay.
Then the other mode of that screen, and we'll show you that in a second, is things expiring soon. And so you'll be able to see, for example, anything in your ancillary cart that is already expired or is about to expire.
Okay.
If they, for example, if nobody's come and pick it up yet, and this one isn't one you use as often, it's been sitting on your ancillary cart for 8 days, well, now somebody needs to go and run it through the System 1E again because it's expired now.
Okay.
So this setting, the second setting here is how many days in advance of expiring do you want it to show up on that list? You can either say, only show me it if it's already past 7 days, or show me it if it's 1 day away from expiring. It's up to you.
Okay, I would like to know the day before it expires.
Okay, perfect. So we'll do one. All right. So now I'm going to log out and log back in. Typo. Another typo. With long passwords. Okay. So here's our new scope tracking.
Okay.
Has a new icon.
Mm-hmm.
See if I set everything up right. So here by default, it's filtering to stuff in my disinfection locations, which would be, our system money. And we can, and if as we build other workflows, we can add other things to that. And so here's where you see the two radio buttons for what's in progress right now or what's expiring soon.
Okay.
Until we haven't done anything yet, so we have nothing expiring soon. But let me scan that Bronc. Oops, 1, 3, I think. And since there was only one workflow and it was marked as the primary, it just opened it up.
Uh-huh.
And
That is
started
excellent.
doing that. So first thing I noticed is that we need to go back and tweak these. I didn't fill in
You have
the
two
right thing,
tabs.
so that,
Yeah.
that needs to be more descriptive.
One's-
Descriptive there. Okay, so
One needs to just say leak.
yep. Okay, so we can fix that. So it goes through the leak test. They can say whether it passes or fails,
Mm-hmm.
and you can have those instructions there. Then it goes to the manual cleaning, where you can see where you can have different types of things
Mm-hmm.
in the document. And the star means it's required. So if I advance past it, it's not going to check it off yet.
Mm-hmm. Until you check it, yeah.
Here's my channel check. Instructions to do that. If you pass or fail. Here's the disinfection. So here's where they're going to say it's in my system money.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to pick the solution. We haven't ever used one before.
Parasitic, yeah.
So, and then we'll enter in that lot number, right? It was 3 numbers, 2 letters,
And then numbers.
5 more
Yeah.
numbers. And then when it expires, and then let me see. Oh, did I pick the wrong one? Maybe I picked the wrong one because I wasn't wanting. There is no solution
Oh, yeah.
test other than the one that's at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it depends though. If you could, would that be what you? I'm trying to think here if it would make sense to just use this at the end.
Okay.
As the indicator, like actually
Yeah.
use this as the indicator test. We could figure that out. Let me make a note of that and come back to that. All right. And then they'll have their instructions for what to do to put it in, hook it up, what buttons to press. They'll say start of the cycle. It'll, they'll say pause at that point
Mm-hmm.
because it'll need to run the cycle. And then you can see now it's showing up as on your in progress screen.
Yeah.
They'll come back, it's done. They can say whether it passed or failed,
Yeah.
and then they'll go onto the indicator and say that passed. And this isn't check off yet because I didn't check that MEC test, but that was something I was
Yeah, because I don't need, yeah.
a little bit. And then this is where you'll get the instructions for passing it through to the clean side, what to do, finally when they're done, what to include with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, they'll see a summary of all the information. And really, this is just a summary. If they wanted to print it, they could. And you see kind of at the bottom, you see
This is what Joint Commission wants.
each step, and if they were required to document something, what they typed, what
Mm-hmm.
they